Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're diving deep into mobile coupons today. Those little digital discounts that pop up on your phone.
Yeah, and we've got research here that might just change how you think about those little notifications.
We're looking at a study from Information Systems Research, that's published by Informs, and the scale of this thing is incredible. They did over 184,000 people
Wow,
and thousands of stores.
it's huge.
Yeah, so think of it like a giant data-driven supermarket sweepstakes.
It really shows the power of real-world data. Instead of just small surveys, they're tracking actual shopping behavior across a massive sample size.
Okay, so let's set the stage here.
Hmm.
You know when you're browsing an app, let's say for your favorite grocery store,
Right.
and you see a coupon.
Yeah.
That's what they call mobile pull.
Okay.
You're actively seeking out the deal.
Right.
But then there are those mobile push coupons,
Huh.
the notifications that just show up on your phone,
Mm-hmm.
even when you're not using the app.
Right. It's the difference between going to a bookstore with a specific book in mind or being completely drawn in by a captivating window display.
I like that. That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
So the study found that those push notifications, the ones that come directly to you,
Yeah.
actually had a 6% higher redemption rate than mobile pull.
Interesting.
Now, 6% might not seem like a lot,
True.
but imagine a supermarket sending out, say, 10,000 coupons.
Okay.
That's 600 more shoppers walking through their doors
Yeah, that's a big deal.
and potentially filling their carts.
Yeah, especially in the grocery industry where profit margins are so small. Even a tiny increase like that in coupon redemption can really affect the bottom line.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the researchers actually found that the push notification advantage was strongest in the first 3 days after the coupon was sent out.
Hmm.
Why would that be?
Well, it all comes down to something economists call search costs.
Okay,
If you have to go out of your way to find a coupon, that takes time and effort.
right.
But push notifications just eliminate that search cost. They put the deal right in front of you.
So if a store wants you to use a coupon quickly,
Uh-huh.
a push notification is the way to go. It's like getting a little reminder right when you need it. The study also found that people who were already comfortable using apps, the ones who know how to find the deals,
Right.
were actually more likely to redeem coupons in general.
Makes sense.
So is there any time that the pull strategy is better?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe for a product that people really search out,
Yeah.
something more specialized.
That's a good question. This study focused on grocery coupons,
Uh-huh.
which are for everyday things. It would be interesting to see if the results were different for, say, electronics or travel deals,
Yeah,
where people might be more proactive,
right.
looking for savings.
That makes sense. Makes me think about my own shopping habits.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll go out of my way to find deals on clothes or tech gadgets. But for groceries, I'm way more likely to respond to a notification if it pops up.
Exactly. It shows how the effectiveness of any marketing strategy, even something as simple as a coupon, really depends on the context. Understanding the user, their needs, and their existing behavior.
So we've seen that those push notifications can be pretty powerful,
Yeah.
especially in those first few days.
Right.
But it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. Now let's talk about location. The study also looked at something called store density. So imagine you're at a mall,
Okay.
like a busy mall with tons of stores all trying to get your attention.
That can be kind of overwhelming.
Right. That's high store density in action. Lots of choices, lots of competition.
Yeah, and in these situations, the effectiveness of push notifications was even stronger.
It's like they help you cut through the clutter. When you're just surrounded by options, why would that be?
Well, in a high-density area, you've got higher switching costs.
Switching costs.
Yeah, basically the barriers that keep you from choosing one option over another. Think about your go-to grocery store. You might stick with it even if you know another store has slightly better prices,
Yeah.
simply because it's familiar and convenient.
Yeah, definitely me. I have my usual route. I know where everything is,
Yeah.
and I don't want to spend time figuring out a whole new store.
Exactly. That familiarity and routine, that's your switching cost.
Yeah.
Now, when you're in an area with lots of stores, that push notification helps a specific deal stand out, making the decision easier. It's almost like it lowers that cost of switching.
So in areas with a lot of stores, those push notifications are doing double duty.
Yeah.
They're reducing search costs by putting the deal right there in front of you,
Right.
and lowering switching costs by making a specific store more appealing
Exactly.
when there are tons of other options. It's fascinating how these little details can have such a big impact.
Yeah, it's a testament to how complex consumer behavior really is. There's so much going on beneath the surface that affects the choices we make, and this study helps us understand that a little bit better.
Absolutely. So we've talked about how those push notifications can be really effective,
Yeah,
especially when you're in a place with a lot of options.
right.
But here's the thing. The study also looked at the long-term impact
Uh-huh.
of both push and pull coupons.
Okay.
And what they found was pretty surprising.
What's that?
It turns out both types of coupons
Yeah,
actually led to people spending more at the store,
interesting.
even weeks later.
Mm.
So even if someone doesn't use the coupon right away,
Right.
just having it can still change their shopping habits.
It's like planting a seed. That initial coupon might be what gets people in the door, but it can have a ripple effect.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
It suggests that coupons aren't just about getting people to buy something right now.
right.
They can also affect customer loyalty
Totally. It's about building a relationship.
and how we see a brand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Think about the last time you got a coupon for a store you hadn't been to in a while. Even if you didn't use it right away, did it make you more likely to think about that store?
You know what? Now that you mention it,
Yeah.
I think I have done that. It's like the coupon puts the store back on your radar.
Exactly. It can shift how we see a brand,
Yeah.
making it seem more appealing,
Yeah.
even weeks later. What's really impressive is that this study didn't just look at what happened immediately. They followed people for weeks
Wow.
to see these longer term patterns.
That's really cool. So we've seen that push notifications can be more effective at first,
Yeah.
especially in places with lots of stores.
Right.
But both types of coupons can increase spending over time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm curious how they actually proved this whole search costs and switching costs thing.
Yeah.
You mentioned mechanism checks earlier.
Right. So they wanted to make sure they weren't just seeing random stuff.
Okay.
They had to prove that those search costs and switching costs were actually the reason behind what they were seeing.
So how did they do that? It sounds kind of complicated.
It was actually pretty clever.
Yeah.
To test the search cost idea, they looked at how long people spent on the app after seeing a coupon. The idea is that if a push notification is reducing search costs, people should spend less time clicking around.
Right. Because they already have the information they need.
Exactly. They don't have to go looking for it. And that's exactly what they found. People who got the push notification spent less time browsing the app,
Makes sense.
which means they probably found what they needed more quickly.
So what about switching costs? How do they measure that?
They got really specific with their data. They tracked the time between when someone saw the coupon and when they actually used it at the store,
Wow.
especially if they were near a competitor store.
So a longer time between seeing the coupon and using it would mean higher switching costs.
You got it. Like, they're not sure about trying a new store,
Okay.
and that's what they found.
Uh-huh.
In areas with a lot of stores, that time to redemption was longer.
Makes sense. More choices, more things to compare, more hesitation. But I bet those push notifications had an impact here too, right?
Exactly. Even in those areas with a lot of stores, people who got the push notification actually used the coupon faster.
So it's like the push notification gives them a little nudge,
Yeah,
making it easier to choose that particular store.
right. Especially when there are so many other options around.
It reinforces the idea that push notifications aren't just about convenience.
Right.
They can actually affect how we make decisions.
They really can. By making a specific option seem better,
Yeah.
especially when we have a lot of choices.
Wow. It really is amazing how something like a little notification can affect what we decide to buy, especially when we're out, and have all those choices around us.
Yeah, it shows how important it is to understand, the psychology behind why we buy things. This study gives us some really useful insights. Businesses can use this to make better experiences for their customers.
So we've talked about search costs and switching costs and how powerful those push notifications can be. It's a lot. But if we just take a step back, what's the big takeaway here?
I think the main thing is that these mobile push notifications can be a really great way to get people to use coupons, especially in the short term. But it's not like a magic solution. It doesn't work for everyone.
Right. It depends on things like how comfortable someone is using the app and how many other stores are around.
Exactly.
And we can't forget that both push and pull coupons can make people spend more over time.
Yeah.
It's not just about using the coupon right then. It's about affecting how people shop in the long run and what they think about a brand.
Totally. It makes you think, though, what about people who hate push notifications, The ones who turn them off for every app right away.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I know I'm one of those people. If notifications bug me, I turn them off fast. It's a tough balance for companies.
It is. They have to find that sweet spot between being helpful and being annoying. And this study don't really look into that. But it's definitely something important for businesses to think about if they're going to use push notifications.
I think mobile coupons in the future will be way more personalized. Like instead of sending everyone the same notifications, apps could learn what we like and only send deals that we actually want.
I think you're right. Imagine if your shopping apps knew your habits, your favorite brands, even where you are, and they use that to send you the perfect notifications. That would be combining data and a real understanding of how people think.
That sounds amazing. No more annoying coupons, just deals we actually care about.
Yeah.
Okay, before we wrap up, any final thoughts for everyone listening?
The big thing to remember is to be aware of how these digital nudges are affecting our choices. Whether it's a push notification or an ad, are we buying things because we really need or want them, or are we just reacting to something that popped up at the right time? It's a good question to ask yourself.
And maybe after this deep dive, you'll be inspired to take a little more control over your apps, turn off those annoying notifications, explore some new apps, and just be a smarter shopper.
I like that. It's all about finding that balance in our digital world. Convenience and making choices on purpose.
Well said. Until next time, everyone, happy shopping.